Boom. Tuesday night. Welcome in, folks. Murder Church. We are still doing Charlie Adelson, direct testimony, Rash, still questioning him. We haven't gotten across yet. We're still banging it out. We still got a little bit left here of the video in general. I think it's probably going to have cross on it, so we still got a while, though. But we're going to tackle another hour here tonight. Get in here, hit the like, share it out. I really appreciate it. Let's go.
Let's rock.
Boom! We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here. Tuesday night. We did it. We made it. We're still rocking and rolling. Holy shit. The dream continues. We're back with another episode of Murder Church. I'm going to take down a little bit more Charlie Adelson here. Still got a little bit. I'd imagine we finish this video on Sunday probably, but we're going to at least get through another hour here regardless. But welcome in, everybody. Thank you very much. Hopefully everyone's having a good Tuesday, having a good week so far. We're rocking and rolling. I don't think I even fixed. Oh, I didn't fix Botrix. Let me fix Botrix. Who I got in the chat here? Who I got in the chat? Debbie Blair, Jersey Jen, Brooklyn, Debbie, Amanda. Welcome in, guys. Here in just a second, we'll be able to see your chats as soon as I get her going. Still had it set up for Wrestle Plunge. Here we go. Put that in there like that. Do one of these. Bada boom, and hopefully we'll be good. But yeah, we are rocking and rolling, and one thing that we're doing again, tackling some more Charlie here. Of course, Thursday we're going to be doing more body cam footage. And then Friday I've actually got a guest. I got Joe Schmo coming on here. We're going to be continuing our way to Halloween. I'm still making my way through The Devil in Disguise right now, the new John Wayne Gacy Peacock show, so I can get Bob on here for a show. There's the chat. There it is. And so we can talk a little John Wayne Gacy. I think that'll be interesting. That's what I think. I think it'll be good. I am feeling much better. Yes, oh shit, I need to do this too. Hold on. But Jen, yes, I'm feeling a lot better than I was on Sunday. It was just sinuses, which is what's crazy. It was freaking sinuses that were killing me. I know it was sinuses. There was no mucus. It was just the weather, quite frankly, is what's going on. But I took some more allergy medicine. I got it under control right now. Hopefully we can keep it under control because I hate it. The whole day was like that. I had to cancel my wrestling show that night. But yeah, without further ado, let's get in here. I got the wheel rocking and rolling. I think we're still working on a wheel currently, if I'm not mistaken. Let's pull it up here to take a gander anyways. Oh yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 currently on a wheel. So 5 more, and maybe we'll get a spin here tonight. But let's get in here and keep rolling with Charlie on the stand. What's up, Teresa? Yeah, we're still listening to phone calls here. Phone calls that we've already heard. I'm going through these quick. Rash said, hey, Brooklyn also, what's going on? Rash said he was not going to go through every call, but he is. Let's hear a little bit of it. I think this is Katie. This might actually be at the restaurant because I can't hear shit.
Can you hear me okay?
Okay, no. Okay, there we go.
Okay. I just want you to listen to me. I'll be able to talk to you in person when I see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom walked the kids. I only heard part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go down there and talk to her tomorrow to find out what's going on.
Okay.
If she didn't want to elaborate.
Uh-huh.
But she said that someone approached her on the street.
Uh-huh.
All right, going through this quick. We've heard this 1,000
Handed
times.
her an envelope.
We've already heard it once in this trial.
And somebody was
Him talking to Katie.
I have no idea what he was
His mom was approached with the
something
bump.
regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking my mom for somebody. What? Yeah. So I said, well, I'm like, but first you're saying it's
She's like,
something
what?
like that. I don't even know what the fuck it's about at all.
So somebody reached out to your mom again?
Well, it's picking up her on the street after she dropped the kids off at school. Because I get from school, I don't even know. But it must know her routine, it must know who she is.
Yeah.
They also know her, they called her by name, they handed her an envelope, and she said they spoke to her for a few minutes. And then she said they're making reference to my ex-girlfriend. I don't know if I know.
Yeah.
And then they claimed that you'd be making money.
For what?
I guess I don't want to talk to you on the phone.
So like, she be a person?
Oh, yeah, I said this. That's what I said. There's no, I whacked her.
Exactly.
I said, you have to drink, please. She's like, I don't even know what this is about. I don't want to talk about it. I will take a picture and send me what it is. She's like, I just want you to see it first. So, I'm going to go down.
What's up, Susan?
Go to today because I won't get out of work until 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
So, she's like, dude,
Well, you're just stalking your mom?
I don't even fucking know. I don't know what's going on, what my mom's involved. I mean, you didn't do anything with my mom. I mean, yeah.
Let me pause it right there. You say, and I quote, I mean, you didn't do anything with my mom.
I did say that.
What were you asking her?
Are your friends extorting my mom that you know of? Are they up to this?
Now, during this call, you say, I have no idea what this is in reference to. Why do you say that to Katie?
I'm calling her up and talking about something that she'd asked me to never talk about. And I never planned on talking about it. So I wanted to let her know that I wasn't setting her up. And that I needed her help. That's why I was calling her up.
And you make reference to an ex-girlfriend, but you're kind of wishy-washy whether she's the ex-girlfriend. Why?
Because I was implying it was her, but I didn't want her to feel like I was setting her up.
She says to you, when you say, I mean, you didn't do anything with my mom. She says, what would I do with your mom? And you say, just checking.
Yep.
Katie seems surprised on this call.
Very.
How did that make you feel?
That made me feel good. It made me feel like it wasn't her friends that were doing it. I mean, she knew when it happened last time. She definitely wasn't acting surprised.
What was your level of concern at this point in time?
I was probably medium. I mean, I was still pretty concerned, but my mom didn't sound right on the phone.
Now, there's a call that occurs after this call
Right,
that
like-
is not in evidence,
So, like,
where Katie calls you back. Do you recall what Katie wanted you to do when she called you back?
She wanted me to go down there that night to see my parents.
And did she seem very concerned?
She was extremely concerned when she called me back.
Did you go to see your mom that night?
No, I finished work probably after 10, and I went down there the next afternoon.
Okay, so let's talk about the next day. So just to be clear, the bump happens.
What's up, Kerry?
These calls happen
Welcome
on
in.
April 19th, 2016, right?
Yes.
We're now at April 20th. Where did you meet your mom?
I met her in the lobby of the building.
And did you go anywhere with her?
Yeah, we went for a short walk and ended up sitting on a bench.
What time approximately did you get to Miami and see your mom?
I would say like 1:30ish,
Okay. Why did you meet her then?
because she wanted to wait for my dad to go to work.
Where did when you walked to this bench? It's outside of a restaurant called Monty's, right? Not far from a restaurant called Monty's.
Yeah, it's right next to Monty's, actually.
Did you notice anyone following you?
No.
As you sit here today, do you know that you were being followed?
Today I do, yeah.
Okay. Now, I think State's Exhibit 54 has been put in evidence. It's a picture of you and your mom on that bench outside of Monty's. Is that a fair depiction of where you were?
Yeah, we were sitting.
There's been testimony, I think, by Special Agent Sanford that you and your mom were whispering or trying not to be heard. Is that testimony true?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted some privacy for sure.
And how was your mom acting?
She was very scared.
What did she tell you?
Well, she told me that she went to go pick the boys up from school, and that this really big guy came over to her and said that you've been helping out Katie and Tuto, and my brother Tato is going through a hard time, and he's incarcerated, and my brother Tato did a big favor for you, and you need to do what's right. You need to take care of my brother Tato. My mom was like, I don't know what you're talking about. The guy handed her a copy of an article, and it had $5,000 written on it, and it also had a cell phone written on it.
At this point in time, did you have any clue whatsoever who Tato was?
No, I've never heard of Tato in my life.
Okay, so let me make sure that we're all on the same page. You knew who Tuto was, right?
Tuto is Sigfredo Garcia.
But you had no idea of anyone named Tato or Luis Rivera, correct?
Never heard of that name before.
Did your mom show you the paper that was given to her?
Yes, she did.
Do you recall if you took the paper with you or whether you wrote down the phone number from the paper?
I don't know whether I took the paper with me or I just took a piece of paper and wrote the phone number down to the paper. One of the two, but I did have the number with me when I left.
Okay. Now, at this point in time, when you're meeting with your mom, what was she concerned about?
Going to prison.
She was concerned that she was going to get hurt, and that they were going to hurt her, and then someone else in the family was going to pay. And she wanted to go to the police.
What did you tell your mom in response? What was your theory at this point in time?
I was telling my mom, this is so different than what happened to me. I said, it could actually. I was actually thinking it could have been Sigfredo Garcia, because him and Katie were in this explosive fight, and I always suspected that it was him, and that he's now extorting my mom, and that's what it was. So I thought it could be that. That scared my mom a lot. But then I said, this is probably the police. I said, it's, they're not telling you 48 hours or you're going to get killed. They're not hiding who they are for the first, even at that point, I only suspected Sigfredo. This guy's not even hiding who he is. He's not wearing a hat. He's not wearing glasses. He's not trying to conceal himself. The first time I wasn't given a cell phone number. This time they're giving cell phone numbers. They're giving names. They're giving all this information. I'm like, wow, I think this is the police.
What did you tell your mom you were going to do?
I told her that I was going to go ahead and go talk to Katie and see if she thinks that this is possibly.
Hope you're having a good shift.
Sigfredo, who I was suspected, and if it is, see if she could get him to stop.
Now, did your mom during this meeting tell you anything about your dad?
Yeah.
What did she say?
She was really worried that her safety was an issue now, and my dad's with her all the time, and she's like, look, I know you don't want me to say anything to Dad, but I have to say something to him. Like, this has gone too far. I can't not. So I told her, I said, if you tell him, you got to promise not to say anything to Wendy. Please do not let him go to the police. Like, this is you're gonna put my life at risk. You're gonna put your life at risk. Like, let me just figure out if Katie could get these people to stop, if she's related to them somehow, and identify them and get them to stop.
Why were you so adamant that she not tell Wendy?
I thought Wendy would go to the police, and I thought my dad would too, but my mom swore that she'd be able to get him not to go.
What did you tell your mom about what you would do with your dad after she told him?
I said, after you tell Dad what's going on, I said, I'll be happy to have him come over to my house, or I'll meet him. I'm sure he's going to have a whole bunch of questions, and I'll talk to Dad tomorrow.
Now, after you left your mom, what did you do next?
I left and then I drove up to see Katie. She was probably working. She was working for a real estate company, and it was about 15 minutes away from my parents' place.
And I think we heard the calls. I'm not going to play them again. Did you call her to find out the address and where to meet her?
I got the address, and then I called her again as I was pulling into the plaza because I'd never been there before, and she walked out of the office that she was working at.
Okay. Now, when you got to her, by the way, where she was working, was it in a strip mall?
Yes.
Okay. When you got there, where was she?
She
Oh yeah, I
was
did
standing
not.
in front of the-
I fucked up on the book club tonight. I did not read the chapters I was supposed to. So the book club will commence next week. We're so close.
I think it was Optimar Realty.
I fucked up today.
She had just come outside so she could wave me down.
And did you go straight into the restaurant, or did something happen before you went into the restaurant later?
She walked over to the car. I pulled up into a parking spot. She walked over to the car. I wanted to talk to her, so I said, hop in the car. I need to talk to you.
Now, did you know that you were being followed?
No, not at all.
When she got in the car, what did you learn, and what happened?
Well, she asked me what happened to my mom. I told her, and I said, do you think this is T? I said, well, I said, was T behind what happened to me? And she looked at me. She said, yes.
And what did you ask her about the information your mom had received when she was approached on the street?
I asked her if she thought that this was T. Do you think he's doing this to my mom? Because you guys are fighting. Like a week or so earlier, they had this explosive fight because she saw his phone and some girl was sending him text messages of a tattoo that she just got at like 3 a.m. So they were like breaking up, and now that my mom's getting extorted and she's having a fight with him, I'm suspecting that it's him.
Do you bring up the name Tato?
Yes.
Tater tot.
What happened when you brought up the
Totter
name
tates.
Tato?
I said, have you ever heard of some guy like Tato? Like, I thought it was a joke that there's a Tuto and a Tato. Like, have you ever heard of Tato? And then she started talking.
What did she say?
She said, yeah, I know Tato. Tato is Tuto's best friend. And she said he's a bad
Are they
dude.
for real like a
He's
tag
one of the
team?
Latin
Like, is
kings.
that what's going on?
She said they went
Straight up a
up
tag
to
team.
Tallahassee, and he rented a car. He's the one who did this to Dan. And off my head's like, I'm freaking out. This is the guy that's now extorting my mom. And I'm like, Katie, is this guy incarcerated? Like, she's like, yeah. And like, does he have brothers? She said he's got 4 or 5 brothers.
What's up,
He's got
Asset Page?
a
Welcome
couple
in.
100 brothers in the Latin Kings in Miami.
Let's stop there for a second.
Nah, you're not too late.
So, why did you ask her if he was incarcerated?
Because the guy...
No, not
who
really.
My mom
Just basically Charlie saying this.
said my brother Tato is incarcerated. He's going through a hard time. And he needs your help. You need to take care of him the way you're taking care of Katie and Tuto.
Now, when Katie is telling you that there is a Tato, that he's the head of the Latin Kings, that he's incarcerated, and you know he has brothers, what starts going through your mind?
Holy shit, this is real. Like this is real extortion, and it's happening again.
What does Katie tell you about what happened in Tallahassee and who did what?
Yo, Jen, thank you very much.
Told
Appreciate
me
it.
That T was high on drugs. got
$2.
fast food and
I'm going to
all.
interrupt you for 1 second just to make it clear to the jury. I'm going to ask you, I know she used their nicknames,
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Jen.
okay? make that clear. But for the purposes of today, let's use their names so that there's no confusion. Okay?
So-
I understand in the car she used nicknames, either Tato, Tuto, or T. But just for the purposes of today, use their names. Okay? What did she tell you about who did what in Tallahassee?
She said that Sigafredo was high on drugs at the hotel, and that Luis Rivera was the one who shot Dan.
Now, did she tell you that Tato was also behind your extortion? Or no?
She said that Sigfredo brought him to go do this, and that it was he got paid, but it was the extorter was Sigfredo.
Did she describe to you, you said she described to you about a rental car. Did she describe to you anything about the payments the next day?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She said when she brought the money, she met up with them, and she gave the money to Sigfredo and him, and that she didn't touch any of it, and that she didn't take a single dime for herself or anything like that.
Now, when you're hearing this in the car, by the way, how long do you think you were in the car for?
10 to 15 minutes, probably closer to 10.
How are you feeling, and what do you now want to do when you're in the car? You've just told your mom that you think it's the police, that it's all going to be okay. Now you've heard that there is a real Tato. How are you feeling, and what are you thinking about doing at this point in time?
I'm freaking out because I thought it was Sigfredo. Then I'm hearing all this stuff about this guy Tato, his name is Luis Rivera. Everything seeming real. I was extorted. Now my mom's getting extorted. Katie's telling me she doesn't think it's Tato or his people. He wouldn't do it like this. He would have done it the way it happened to me. She's telling me that she thinks it's a copycat of one of Tato's, someone who knows Tato and is doing a copycat on him and doing their own extortion, or it's probably she thinks it's the police.
Now, how is she acting in the car?
She's upset. She's very upset.
And you've told her that they used her name, correct? What do you decide to do after she tells you this bombshell information?
Well, I mean, I have more questions than answers.
Bombshell tonight.
When I got done talking to her in the car, I was more confused than ever. And I told my mom, I'm going to talk to Katie and see if her friend is behind this and if she can get him to stop. And now it's like open the door to all these other possibilities and scenarios of what it could be and what to do. So Katie was the only person on the planet that I could talk to about this and see if I could try to get it to stop. So I said, Katie, you want to go inside and get some coffee? And I thought I'd be able to talk to her more and try to see what are we supposed to do.
Now, we know you like to talk. How about when you're scared and trying to figure things out?
I mean, I was freaking out. I was freaking out, and I'm trying to figure things out by talking out different scenarios out loud, thinking if it's this, we do this, or if we do this, what'll happen, or if we do this, what'll happen, and that's why it's a lot of it's very jumbled up because I'm all over the place.
Okay. So you decide to go inside and get coffee. Katie agrees with you, and is that when you go into the restaurant called, and I pronounce it wrong, Your Honor, I'm sorry, Dolce Vita?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
How did I do?
When you went into the restaurant,
Nailed it, Rash. Puzzle pieces,
who
baby.
did you think was
Putting
behind it?
them
Well, let me start
together.
with saying something else. You've seen the audio of you in that restaurant, right? With Katie.
Yes.
Before that audio started, had you met with Katie in the restaurant for about 20 or 30 minutes?
We've been in there about a half hour talking.
So that audio doesn't capture anything in the beginning of your conversation, right?
Yes.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the beginning of the conversation. Obviously, it's many years ago. You're not going to remember word for word what was said. But generally, what was Katie telling you, and what were you telling Katie?
Katie was saying that it's the police. And I didn't care if it was the police. I was there because it was a bad guy. So I'm trying to figure out, like, is my family really in danger, and what should we do? And if they are in danger, what should we do?
Did you know that law enforcement at some point in the conversation started to record you?
No, I thought we were alone.
Now, your conversation with Katie in the restaurant, how were you talking? Were you talking freely or carefully?
No, I always spoke to Katie carefully.
Why was it so important for you to talk carefully to Katie in this restaurant?
Whenever I spoke to Katie, I needed her help. So I never wanted her to feel like I was trying to set her up or set her friends up, and in that regard. So every time I said something or phrased something, I was always really careful in how I spoke to her.
And again, at this point in time, did you have any clue whatsoever that Katie was part of the extortion of you?
No, I did not think she was ever a part of it.
Now, the first thing that is caught on the recording is if they had any evidence, we would have already
What's
gone
up, Net
to the
Detective? Welcome in.
airport. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's going to happen.
What were you saying here, and what was it in context
Who knows?
of what had been said before?
Okay, directly before that, Katie was talking about it being the police and that she thinks it's the police. And I'm like, it's fine if it's the police.
Right?
Like, we're innocent. They're not going to have any evidence. Like, if we had anything to do with this, I'd be going to the airport right now. What you're saying is that it's the police. Like, they're not going to have evidence to show that we did something that we didn't do.
Charlie, without getting into all the details that I did with Agent Sanford, this communication at Dolce Vita happened in 2016. You were arrested in 2022. When did you know that the state thought that you had participated in the murder of Professor Markel?
When the probable cause affidavit was released.
And when was that affidavit released approximately?
I think it was leaked to the media, and I saw it in August of 2016.
Did you ever try to flee the country
Never.
after August 2016?
Never.
Why not?
Because I wasn't part of a murder. They weren't going to have any evidence to show I was part of a murder.
You want to rethink that one?
Now, you say during Dolce Vita. One second, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Lost my spot. Is Dolce Vita a bit of an argument between you and Katie?
Yeah, you can say that.
And what is the argument about?
She's taking the position that it's the police, and you can't pay the police. And I wasn't as focused on the police as I was focused on, well, if it's a bad guy, what do we do? Like, we can't go to the police.
Why were you not focused on it being the police?
Because I didn't do a murder. I wasn't worried if it was the police.
Now, if it was a bad guy, what did you want her to do? What did you want Katie to do?
I wanted her to reach out to them and see if she could get them to stop. You know, maybe threaten them. Maybe she could pay them. Maybe she could tell them she's going to pay them. It's a one-time thing. I want to see if she could identify them and get them to stop.
Why did you want her to do that as opposed to you doing that?
She knew who the original people were. She knew Sigfredo. She knew this guy, Luis Rivera. And she'd be the only person who'd be able to identify them and get them to stop, and maybe they'd be afraid of her.
Now, throughout this recording, several times you try to sound tough. Is that the case?
Absolutely.
You say,
Absolutely.
"Gun on me."
Absolutely.
Yes, I said that.
I'm a tough guy.
I mean, someone comes up to me if someone comes up to me, they better be ready to shoot because I'm going to shoot them. Someone come up to me asking for money in my house. When the fucking police show up and there's a doctor, there's an oral surgeon standing there with a dead gang member in his fucking driveway, they're not going to come down too hard on me. I'll take a break right there. Why are you talking tough?
I want to let her know, like, I've had enough. Like, and, you know, they're messing with my mom, they messed with me. Like, I've literally just had enough, and I'm trying to send that message.
Why do you bring up a gang member?
Because 45 minutes earlier, when I was sitting in the car with Katie, she told me that Luis Rivera was the head of the Latin Kings. And that's who the second extortion was, a Latin King gang member who was extorting my parents, which was actually the FBI, but it was...
Immediately after you say those lines, though, you say, and I'm not going to talk anyway. Why do you say that? You're being tough, and then you say, and I'm not going to talk anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to talk your way around of not going to the police.
Why do you say that?
In this situation, if you're truly have no clue what's going on, or why are these people contacting me? And my mother, of all, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be protective of your mom and want to have the police involved.
I didn't want to scare her into thinking that I'm some kind of loose end, that at any point was I going to the police. I was making it clear that at no point I was going to the police.
You then say, Katie, this is not like some chick showing tattoos to your man. What are you talking about here?
That was in reference to their explosive fight that would send her and Sigfredo in opposite directions, and I was thinking that he was behind what had happened to my mom. I thought he was just sending a third party to collect.
And what are you trying to tell Katie to do?
I'm telling her to call this person and to contact them and see if she can get them to stop.
Now, you then say, they're not going away. I may wish they'd go away, but they're not going away. And then there's a bunch of unintelligibles, and there's a line that says, that you say, well, with a beard or a badge. Do you have any idea what you were talking about there?
I think we were talking about, is it a police officer or a bad guy?
And again, well, who would be the beard?
The beard would be a bad guy.
And who, again, was Katie trying to convince you it was?
She was trying to convince me it's the police.
Now, we've seen
Correctly.
this conversation live, although we can't hear all of it. Are you doing more of the talking or more of the listening?
I'm doing the thinking out loud and talking.
Okay.
You're not really listening to her at all, right?
No.
Well,
You again
Dan
say,
Markel's dad back there is just
listen,
like,
if the badge comes up to you, tell them, have
passed
a
out.
nice day, officer.
so done with this.
And she says, yeah, no, perfect. You say, if
There's
not,
still a
I
lady
don't
back
talk
there
to
that looks like
cops.
she's
Sorry.
from like Dallas or like, you know, Days of Our Lives, like a villain even. If you're watching this, I apologize, but what's happening? Joel, do you know this lady?
And she says, yeah, no, perfect. What are you saying to Katie here?
I'm reassuring her that I'm keeping my mouth shut and I'm not going to the police and I'm not trying to set her up. But I wanted her to see if maybe make a payment.
Now, you say this person is not, this is after her long unintelligible. You say, Katie, this person is not going away. They came very quick with details. What details are you talking about here?
They know about my payment to her with the checks. They know about the payment.
You then go on a bunch of long discussions about DNA in a rental car. Why do you bring up a rental car?
Because 40 minutes earlier, I was sitting in a car with her, and she was telling me that Luis Rivera rented a car.
And during these long discussions, you're talking about how you don't really know anything. You, Charlie, doesn't really know anything. Why are you telling her repeatedly that you don't know anything?
I'm trying to reassure her that I'm harmless.
Uh-oh, fajitas. Lord, let me fix it. Let me fix it.
And that I don't have any real knowledge of
Thanks,
what
Bassett.
went on. And that, you know,
French toast.
Need to go try to clean up.
That
Now-
was hilarious. French toast
You then
emojis
say,
on the chat.
they said the guy's name was Tuto. I don't even know who the fuck it is. Did
Got
you
French
know who
fry
Tuto
emojis.
was?
I knew who Tuto was.
Was this you confusing the names Tuto and Tato?
That's exactly what it was. I was getting the names mixed up.
That's all. I can agree with him there. I get them mixed up. I know Tato is Riviera. Oh, it's
And
Riviera
she
though.
asked you to
But I have gotten
describe
them mixed up.
what he looked like, right?
Yes.
And
Did I
you
fix
say some of it's unintelligible, but you
Do it.
say well spoken. She goes polite and well
Should have
spoken.
fixed it. Hopefully, Amanda.
I said, did he act thug, or did he talk with like a thick Spanish accent or anything?
Sometimes we get a little fajitas in
She
here.
said no. I said, was he white or Hispanic? She said he was white, but he could have been Hispanic. Why were these facts important to you and Katie?
Because I was comparing the original extortion that I had to the person that's extorting my mom to see if they fit the description.
And she says, so recognizable, and you say with no glasses, no hat, very well dressed. And she says, well dressed? As you're talking about this, what are the both of you trying to figure out?
We're trying to figure out, is this related to, is this real extortion or is this
Nice.
the police?
Sweet. Thanks, guys. Every once in a while it goes sideways.
And what is Katie telling you of why she doesn't think this is real extortion and why she thinks it's the police?
Because of how it's being done. And these people wouldn't do it this way. But it still opened up the door to her where she said it could be a copycat and somebody just trying to piggyback the extortion and make it their own.
Now, you say to her every time she's telling you it's the police, you kind of push back. Why do you push back?
The whole purpose of me being there with her was not to hear if it was the police. I needed her help if it wasn't the police.
10 minutes and 28 seconds into the recording, not the meeting, but the recording. The following thing is what you say. They didn't mention my name, which makes me think that they don't. These people only know part of the story, or they think they know part of the story. What are you telling Katie here?
I'm saying they didn't mention my name, that they don't even know I was extorted, and that they only know part of the story. They know about the checks that my mom was writing to you, or they think they know part of the story. They don't realize that that was payment for an extortion, not payment for a murder.
So whoever's doing this thinks that you did a murder because they don't know that you were extorted.
Exactly.
And by the way, isn't that exactly what the bump is?
The bump is an extortion.
But isn't the bump designed in a way that they thought you did part of a murder, and the responses they got, they didn't understand because they only knew part of the story.
That's exactly it.
You then say, when everybody was there the next day, did you take any money? It's not like you're driving around in a Bentley, cruising around in a Mega Yacht. someone. He must at some point, because otherwise he would have no idea I had anything to do with. First of all, remind the jury, how did you know what happened on July 19th, and when did you learn that?
In July 19th and July 18th.
How did you know about the money drop? Let me ask that question.
Okay. Katie told me that the next day she brought the money to Luis and Sigfredo Garcia.
When did she tell you that?
She told me that in the car 30 minutes earlier.
Now, when you're asking this question, who is the everybody that you are referring to?
Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera.
What are you confirming here, and why?
That she's not a part of it. I mean, she's broke. I was being sarcastic when I'm like, you're not cruising around in a mega yacht or driving a Bentley. Like, her car's getting declined at Old Navy, and she's borrowing $300 from me. So I didn't think she was a part of it. I didn't think at the time that she took any of that money. So that's why I said it like that. Is that you didn't take any of the money next day, and they're saying that like I'm helping you out. So I'm thinking that like Sigfredo must have said something to Luis about the little things that I do to help you out with, lending you money. I gave her a car with 160,000 miles on it. Sigfredo must have said something to Luis, and then maybe one of his people is now trying to extort my family.
And in response, what does she say to you? Who does she say it is?
She thinks it's the police.
And so then you say to her, it could, I wish that it was a cop playing
I feel like
games.
we're listening to a broken record here. Good God.
Why did you wish
What's
it
up,
was a
Shelley?
cop playing games?
Stop.
Because then it meant that
Hope
my
you're doing
mom wasn't
good.
being extorted by Latin King gang members.
We're in Charlie Purgatory currently.
You say, and I'm not involved. Recall saying that?
Yeah.
Why did you specifically mention the word extortion in Dolce Vita? Why didn't you say, Katie, why are these the same people that did to me? These the same
Tap
people that
out,
are doing
dude.
this to my mom
Jesus.
that did it to me back in July of 2014. Why didn't you just say that in this recording?
3
I
hours
was
into
being
this.
real careful when I spoke to Katie. I would never say the word extortion to her.
Why not?
I would get zero help, and she'd think I was setting her up.
And what were you
Probably
most
kill.
concerned about at this point in time?
I was most concerned about the gang member that's now extorting my mom, and also about trying to get Katie to help me to stop it.
Again, you say, if it's a cop, I'm happy because I've got nothing to hide. You say that at least 3 times. Why do you tell her that?
Because she keeps on saying that it's the police. And I'm not worried about if it's the police. I'm worried about if it's a gang member and that's coming after my mom.
And as she's pushing back that she doesn't want to make the payment or reach out to the person, you then bring up, it's going to put a spotlight in the investigation. You start talking about the FBI and BBC News. First of all, what investigation are you talking about?
The murder investigations of Van Markel.
And why are you trying to tell Katie that this is going to put a spotlight on this investigation? What are you why are you trying to tell her that?
I'm trying to tell her that this is a big deal. Like, if we go to the police on the second extortion, they're going to catch the second extortion, and when they catch them, they're going to turn, and second extortion is going to turn in the first extortion, and then when you catch the first extortion, the police are going to come talk to us, and then when we tell them what happened, you're going to be in a lot of danger. There's no way I can talk to the police. So by catching the second, it's going to turn in the first, and that's exactly what I say in there.
Now, you tell her that you want her to give the guy the money, right?
Yes.
And she, again, what's her reaction to that?
She's like, you can't pay the cops. They're going to arrest you. They're going to think you're a part of it.
And so then you give a long-winded explanation of what she can say that won't incriminate herself, right?
Or make the police come talk to her. So I was saying, just tell them that you don't know anything.
Again, what are you trying to convince her to do?
Make a payment.
And she's refusing, right?
Yeah.
You say, that's all I was able to come up with. If it's the police, they can't take the money. They can't take the money. They won't even come meet you. If it's this guy, maybe in the back of his, he knows, unintelligible, fuck off, unintelligible, and that now he's fucking with his wife, and he's fucking with him. You fuck with the.
We're in Charlie Adelson purgatory, as I told Shirley when she came in. Good God.
King
Rashi
himself.
don't stop. He don't
He's
stop.
gonna kill him because he's gonna be a big problem. What are you trying to say to her here?
I'm saying that maybe if you go and contact these people, they're going to know who you are. And they're going to realize, they'll know.
Dude, talking yourself out of
your
this
husband is Sigfredo.
is crazy. It's not. He's not doing it at all because how can you?
Sigfredo's about as scary.
After we've all
as
heard these calls.
And if Sigfredo has a problem with you, the only thing you could do to stop Sigfredo if he wants to come after you is to kill Sigfredo. So I wasn't talking about killing him, but I was saying if he knows who you are, he's going to be a big problem. So the only way they could stop Sigfredo is if they killed him, because he's a dangerous guy.
And is that precisely why you wanted her to be contacting this person?
Yeah, because they would know who her husband is, and they would cut it out.
You then say, and so help me God, if they fuck with my family, it's going to be like that Nazi shit, because this will be done. Who used that terminology with you?
That was an expression that Katie would use.
brutal.
She would say, like, this Nazi shit, like to go crazy on somebody. And that was
sorry,
a
what?
term that she would use, and I used it back to her. And it meant, I was saying, like, listen, like, I'm trying to sound tough also. So I said, listen, I'm going to get somebody to go crazy on this person and get them to stop. Like, this needs to end.
We talk, you say, I don't care what I have to spend.
I don't want to see Georgia. I don't
Ms.
think we're
Kappelman
gonna
asked
get to
one
that
of the
till
witnesses,
Sunday.
aren't you admitting to doing a murder for
God.
hire rule?
Absolutely not. I'm saying that I'll get somebody to act and go crazy on who's ever doing this and get them to stop. I mean, I'm not a scary guy like Sigfredo Garcia is, so I was trying to sound intimidating.
You then say, he doesn't have any bad feelings towards me, does he? Our paths never crossed. I didn't know that the two of you would be working out. Why do you ask this?
Because I'm saying, like, I've been complying. I've been paying every single month. And it's not like I didn't do anything to him. I was still thinking maybe it could be him that's doing this, as I was saying.
Yeah, she's definitely like, just keep on going. You're just burying yourself. Digging that hole right now. The jury's just watching this going,
Now,
what the fuck?
in the video, you see
We all heard the
Katie
same thing.
leaving the table for a bit, right?
Yes.
She leaves for about 2 minutes. And what happens when she leaves, before she comes back?
It's probably the first 2 minutes in the last 45 or 50 minutes that I stopped talking and just sat there and started thinking about everything that we've been talking about.
And as you're sitting there and thinking about it, what goes through your mind? What do you realize?
I just started thinking again about how different this is, and that the person's not hiding who they are. You know, there's no, I'm going to kill you in 48 hours. They're giving lots of information. You know, this is not the same people.
When she comes back, you give her the number, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember if you gave her a piece of paper or if she, do you have any recollection of whether you gave her a piece of paper or she wrote down a number or whether you, do you have any idea, any memory this many years later?
No, I think I may have just said it to her verbally or given her paper. I don't remember sitting here today.
Okay. And then you immediately start talking about how the guy didn't have glasses or a hat. Why was that the first thing that you started talking to her about when she came back?
Because I was thinking, like, for 2 years, I had no idea. You know, nothing was confirmed and the identity was hidden. It was just her friend. Now, all of a sudden, this guy shows up and he's not even taking the precaution of trying to hide his identity. He has no problem showing his face.
And at this point in time, when she comes back, who do you think is behind this?
I'm coming around to her way of thinking that it's probably the police and a small chance that it's some sort of copycat, but more than likely it's just the police. It's the police.
What do you ask her to do?
I still ask her to call the number just to make a chance that, like, hey, if I'm wrong and it's not the police and it turns out to be somebody that really is dangerous, like, I'm betting my mom's life on it being the police, or at least just call and make it so for that peace of mind that I can confirm it is what we think it is.
At the end of the recording, you see that you're actually joking about something.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel at the end of your meeting with her in Dolce Vita?
No, I feel much better. I mean, I'm back to the way I started when I came out there, is that I was thinking it was probably the police, and I felt even more likely it was the police after I got done with meeting with her.
Now, when you repeatedly say during this recording that you hope it's the police, did you understand that if it was the police, they thought they would be thinking that you were part of a murder?
Correct.
So why were you hoping it was the police?
Well, I wasn't part of a murder, and if it was the police, it meant there was no danger. Nobody's going to get hurt, and there's no danger to anyone in my family.
Judge, I'm going to move on to another topic.
Before you do that, members of the jury, does anyone need to take a break? Please raise your hand.
They're all like,
We will take a brief break.
dear God, bathroom break, water
For the
break,
next
something
10 minutes.
to
We'll
break the
resume
Charlie
a little bit after
Adelson noises
3:30.
inside of my head. His voice is just bouncing, boom, 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 like a ping pong ball.
Everyone can be seated.
Oh,
Mr. Rashbaum, you may continue with your examination.
oh my God. We'll go a little longer, just a little bit.
Judge, at this time, I would like to move in Defendant's Exhibit 58, which are selected text messages on July 18th that we discussed earlier.
Well, any objection from the state other than what's already been made?
No, Your Honor.
Admitted over objection, you may proceed with publishing.
I don't need to publish those. Thank you, Your Honor. Do you remember what you did when you left Dolce Vita?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do?
I got in the car and I called my mom up on the phone.
Where was your mom when you called her?
I think she was at the city park.
Now, throughout this call, you don't mention Katie's name. Why don't you mention her name?
I think I was just always just being careful. But I mean, there was no.
Yeah, because you're
my mom
so
knew I was
careful
going
on
to
these
the
calls.
Katie, and I just spoke in general terms.
You tell your mom that everything is fine. What are you telling your mom when you tell her that?
I'm letting her know that it's the police, because that's how I left.
How does that make any sense,
left my
bro?
meeting with my mom
If you're
before I went
innocent.
crazy and I heard all about Luis Rivera. I'm letting my mom know like everything's fine. It's the police.
At the end of this call, there's discussion about cheerleading and Passover. What is your level of concern when you have this call with your mom?
I believe that there is no danger to my family at this time. We're very minimal.
Now, do you recall that the call got cut off? Well, let me say it differently. Withdraw the question, Your Honor. Do you recall that your mom, on the end of this call, had to call you back?
Yes.
And do you recall that about 10 minutes, 5 minutes later, she did call you back?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Judge, at this point in time, I'd like to play government exhibit, state exhibit G.
You may proceed.
And this is a call between you and your mom at 5:06 on April 20th.
Yeah, I just so I hung out with my friend, and then she's gonna sleep on some stuff, and then she's gonna come tomorrow to either my office or Thanos' office and tell me how it works. How she thought about it. So it's still so I'll talk to her tomorrow. I wish her the best of luck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you think she'll be okay? You think everything will be good for her?
I told her. I mean, like I was explaining to you, with relationships, they either go one or two ways. Like it's,
Right.
So it's going to be one or two ways. So,
Yeah. Well,
but that's
how you want it.
yeah.
So it would be best for her. Yes, honey, you can. All right, Charlie. I love you all.
What are they? Yeah, you're welcome. So I
Yeah, just hoping Dad has a good day at the office.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because I like him to have a good night's sleep. So
Yeah.
he works on a long day, like this is long day.
I truly would not worry about anything.
Wait a second, Lincoln, honey, just so the girl is
We're
on.
going through it. We're getting through it. We've heard this.
Wait, just finish and then you'll go on. You don't think so?
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Okay, let's go.
There's nothing to worry about.
No.
No.
Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. Even though I'm going to discuss it a little bit further.
By 3, I'm gonna be gone.
Oh, really? Is that for the day?
Well, then I'm gonna fans it all.
What's up, Simi?
All right.
I hate this area of like I-30 and 95.
Very crowded.
Oh my god, the traffic. To go from like, I mean, literally, for me to go from like, on Biscayne to like, all the way to like 95. It's the same amount of time.
Did your granddaughter's team win?
Just east-west.
I hope so.
Yeah, for me to go southeast to Fort Lauderdale. Or to be in Miami and go to the highway. I just wait for like 2 schools. So,
That's the swinging. I'm pushing as high as I can. That's the squeak of the swing. I'm pushing the old grandma.
Jeez.
Oh my God, I love you.
I would worry about absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm not.
Well, if you're serious.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, listen, I mean, you have to realize something. It does them no good.
Yeah.
So,
She hopes your mom back. There's a reference to Harvey. Harvey's your dad, right?
Yes.
There's a reference to hoping. Your mom says she hopes Harvey had a good day at the office. She'd like him to have a good night's sleep. What did you understand this to be a reference to?
Oh, my dad's about to find out what had happened to me 2 years earlier and what's happening to my mom now.
You're telling your mom repeatedly in this call that not to worry about anything. Why are you telling her not to worry about anything?
Because my mom was worried that that a gay member was going to come and hurt her, or somebody was trying to extort her for money.
Now, you then say, not like you ever threatened anyone or hurt anyone, and you say, she says to you, well, if your theory is correct, what was your theory? Well, first of all, when did you go over your theories with each other?
When I saw my mom 2 hours before this call was placed.
And what was your theory and what was her theory?
My theory was that it's the police.
Oh my God.
My mom's
dude.
theory was that it's a bad guy and they're going to hurt one, and then somebody else in the family is going to pay the money. And that this was a serious threat and her life's in danger.
All right, we're pausing there. We're at 3 hours and 41 minutes. You know, I think this entire 5 hours is direct testimony, actually. Holy shit, mother of God. Whoa. Well, we're going to continue it Sunday because Thursday, what are we doing? Reaction to body cams, baby. I'm excited. Last week was a crazy. Friday, I've got Joe Schmo coming on, so do not worry about a good show on that date because we're going to be watching another horror movie while making our way to Halloween. And anybody in the chat here, if you could do me a favor, go check out this video on Wrestle Plunge. I just dropped this on Sunday. I'm trying to get the numbers up on it. If you guys could leave a like and leave a comment and watch the video all the way through, that would help me out tremendously. And that will get you on a wheel to get a free t-shirt. And included in that is the Halloween shirt, the pumpkin shirt. You could get that to rock and roll to any parties you may have coming up or any events. And you can get it for free. So, yeah, please go check out that video. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, I will see you Thursday, and we again will continue down the Charlie Road on Sunday. Murder Church, Wildside. Welcome in here, a little late, coming into church late. Wildside, what the hell's going on? No book club tonight. No book club. It's my fault. I messed up. I didn't get the chapters in, even though we're so close. We were 2 episodes away. Now we're gonna be next week. Read 44, 45. But hell yeah. Yeah, Thursday I'm going to find some new videos to watch and react to. Thursday's been super fun. We found I still need to clip last week's episode with that absolute maniac. What was her name? Shakira Flabbergasted? Oh my God. Actually, this Thursday we may watch her other 2 videos. That may be what we're doing, actually. Oh, sweet. Well said. Nice. All right, everybody. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. I will see you Thursday. We'll have a good one. And, yeah, let's rock and roll. Get through this week. Boom. Boom. Take it easy.
Nothing to see here.